I guess we'll kind of kick back to yesterday before we move on to today. Obviously, the news about Jabari was disappointing. The early evaluations, we really felt like it wasn't as serious as we thought. But then as he started to settle down and relax a little bit, and we were able to get some of the tests done, it obviously confirmed the tear of his ACL. So he started the mend and getting him back and getting him going. I think it's obviously a hard time when a guy gets injured in training camp because they put so much time and effort into the off season to prepare themselves for it, and it's unfortunate. But I also don't think it's totally unique to us. I think you look around the country and stuff happens. It's football, and there's going to be some injuries, and how we respond is critical, obviously, at the position itself, and then from a scheme standpoint, what we do moving forward. But they've got a good plan. We've got good people in place to continue to move forward at that spot. Some other notes kind of moving forward today. I think the other guys that we held out intentionally, obviously Leonard, Antoine, those real major guys that we're really just trying to get back healthy instead of continuing to pound on their injury, and I think we will. And then I think that'll help some of the energy in practice. We're a little bit in the dog days of training camp right now. I thought our energy was pretty good today. It wasn't the best that we've had in camp. And in turn, I really felt like the offense tempo at which we operate at is just not fast enough. And that'll be a big point of emphasis for us coming out to practice tomorrow. We need to pick up the tempo. We need to put more pressure on the defense that way to create that. Probably not the offense's best day. We had 3 interceptions, 2 of which came on balls that were dropped that it eventually turned into interceptions, and 1 came on a wrong route. So it's unfortunate the quarterbacks sometimes get blamed for it, but this is a group effort, and we definitely need to improve that. The other piece, the kicking game, our battery needs to get better. I know we always want to focus on the kickers themselves, but the snaps need to improve and the holds need to improve, and I think that'll help the kickers not only from just a sheer physical standpoint, but that'll help their psyche as well. I thought we got some good work today. We worked some backed up stuff there at the end of practice, which was really competitive. Again, the defense did a great job early. The offense came back and made a couple big plays there, both of which, oddly enough, came by true freshmen. The long touchdown there to Bryce Dixon, and then a Jane A. Harris with a couple big plays there in the last drive. So all in all, we're in camp, and we're a little sore. We're a little nicked up. But as I said to the team, nobody feels sorry for us because everywhere around the country, they're all feeling the same way. So we've got to fight through it.
You've talked a lot about contingency plans. Is SUA a contingency plan as
well,
kind of a different look on defense?
I think it depends on line of scrimmage. I think it depends on who we're playing, the scheme of our opponent, the personnel we want on the field. We've got contingency plans for big people too. We've got versatility in Scott Felix and J.R. Tavai. We've got contingency plans in whether it's a Sua, a Gerald Bowman. Obviously, Quinton gives us versatility there as well. So a lot of it depends on the opponent. We're lucky that we've got some pretty versatile players and guys that can, from a J.R. Tavai who can play with his hand in the ground as in a three-point stance, to being able to stand up and play off the edge, to a Sua who can play a deep half or a deep middle of the third of the field, but also come down and play in the box and make tackles there. So we've got a wide range of guys, and we're fortunate that way that we have enough flexibility.
Is he playing as Sam, or does anything change when you put him at the line of scrimmage?
We go to a nickel package, so it's a little bit different. Again, I think what you call people is kind of, it's irrelevant, quite honestly. It's more about the scheme you're facing. I don't think we would be playing nickel against Stanford when they go to 19 offensive linemen on the field at the same time. But when we're playing Arizona and they've got 4 wideouts on the field and 1 running back, now we're more apt to go to the nickel, and Sue is probably more suited to being in there in our nickel package. So it really, in our conference, that's the unique thing of our conference. Week to week, you get something different. You get something totally different from the week before, and everybody has their own style, from Stanford to Oregon State to Oregon to Washington to UCLA to everybody else. And so for us, it's a luxury to have versatile guys and guys that we can interchange in there, and it's also a luxury for me to have a defensive coordinator in Justin who is willing to be versatile and not just stuck playing one defense every week, the same defense. We're versatile, and I think that's why I think we'll match up pretty well against people.
Do you look at this as a chance to maybe do something you weren't necessarily do or be better? I mean, do you take it, say, let's turn this into a positive?
Well, I think with anything, when with this comes opportunity for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. If Sua's going there in nickel, that provides opportunity maybe even for a John Plattenberg, a true freshman at safety, who's got to know the stuff when we go to nickel to know the safety spot. So everything kind of goes downhill. If something happens at the top, it works its way down the hill to everybody involved. And so, we have to find the silver lining in things. We have to find the opportunities for guys to make in this. And as I said to the staff last night, Jabari could have gotten hurt the third play of the season, and we would have never gotten the practice reps that we needed to get ourselves prepared for this. So we're always trying to plan for the worst case scenarios. If you saw it today, Max Brown was with the ones in blitz drill. I don't know if Cody could jam a thumb, sprain an ankle. We have to prepare ourselves for just about everything, and that's what training camp's for. When you get this many practices, you can only rep your plays so many times. You can only have so much offense and so much defense. You have to start to mix and match guys and put guys in uncomfortable situations so that if they occur in a game, they won't feel like, I've never done this before. I've been in this scenario. We can lean on practice, and they can go out and perform.
Andre Walker was practicing with a yellow jersey on today, which
Yeah,
seems
we're just
unusual
trying
for
to
an
be-
offensive lineman. What was the story behind
We're
that?
just trying to be a little bit cautious. Initially we weren't prepared for him to go in a contact period. We're trying to be a little bit cautious of his foot. He felt good enough to go in, so he jumped in. I would imagine he'll be out of the yellow jersey tomorrow.
Steve, you had talked about maybe Juju Smith getting a look at nickel
Yeah.
and Rashid,
Yeah.
the receiver. Did you do any of that last night in those closed practice?
No, we didn't. Really, last night was a lot of special situation stuff, Gary. We were working a lot of 2-minute scenarios, end of the game scenarios, a lot slower pace practice. A lot of teaching took place, so we didn't. We're gonna power through here about the next day or so of getting a lot of those special situations done, and then reassess it. But the hard part with doing that with Juju right now, he's playing so well offensively. That for him to go over and start learning defense would really take away from what he's doing on offense right now. And it's hard to do because he's doing really well and he's playing really well. And we're a little bit, we're not 100% healthy everywhere across the board. It'd be easier to do when you have all of your body. So as we start to get some guys back and get them healthy, it might be a little more viable to get that done.
How is Quinton Powell's role affected by Jabari?
He's probably getting a few more reps at the ones than he normally would, but the scheme really doesn't change for him. We're not changing what that position is asked to do. Quinton's a physical guy. As much as he might not appear to be the biggest guy, he's willing, he's tough. Again, it's just now it's really honing in. And it's the unique piece for us to lean on with the players is you think you're a backup, but you're a play away. And your preparation is so critical to be prepared for that time when your number's called. And obviously look at the film and see how Quinton did today, exactly where he's at. But I did a pretty good practice last night, and we'll see where it goes. Quinton is, obviously a big part of the defense right now, but he's critical for us on special teams. He can really run. He's probably going to start on about 3 teams for us, covering kicks and whatnot. So he'll have an integral role for us, that's for sure.